Good afternoon. Happy Friday, everyone. Listen, spring is here, whether we are ready for it or not. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's show. Good afternoon. Happy Friday, everyone. Listen, spring is here. The mic is on. I had to do a quick um, tech check real quick to make sure everything was working. Thank you all so much for being here. Um, this is live number one. After this, I will be going over to the other channel to complete a show over there as well. Thank you so much for being here. Today we have a show all about Shedeur. Let's get into some Shedeur Sanders activity. Let's get into some Shedeur Sanders updates. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I am Discerning Goddess, and over here on this channel, we love Coach Prime. We support Coach Prime, and we support the athletes over at the Colorado Buffaloes football program. We affectionately, I know I do, call them my nephews. I am an internet auntie, and the men that you see here are internet uncles or big brothers, and we enjoy our place in the village. What do we mean by that? Everybody needs support. Everybody needs encouragement. Everybody needs to be motivated and inspired to be their greatest self. And in a world where there is so much negativity, and so many barriers to get in the way of somebody in their journey, we are here to encourage them, inspire them, and many times advocate for them and be a voice that they themselves may not be in the position to speak up. So we don't mind uncovering hard truths, and sometimes it is coupled with constructive criticism. So that for the most part, we enjoy watching our young people soar to be their greatest best selves. Like you will hear a lot of times people will tell them go be great. We mean that. We're not just saying that. We mean that when we tell them to go be great. Because as an auntie in the village, internet auntie, I enjoy and I love to tell young people, don't be like me, be better than me. What do we mean by that as parents, aunties, uncles, and sometimes grandparents? A lot of times our young people will maybe have some information on what used to be back in the day. So, as parents, grandparents, aunties, and uncles, we want to encourage our young people, don't be like us, be better than us. So if you think I'm great, I need you to be greater. I need you to take it to the next level, and I need you to do more and more and more. And guess what? I'm here to support you along the way. So over here is the village. I like to call us because in the village, it's a little bit of everything. You get something here and you got something there, and we are going to make sure we get you to the other side. If that includes prayer, if that includes mentorship, if that includes a lot of times resources and finances, and putting you in the network so you can get to where you need to be. That is what the village is. So I hope I explained that good enough for you all who are new here. If you're new here, yes, I am Discerning Goddess. This is my channel. And if you have not already subscribed, what you waiting on? Subscribe to the channel. And to enjoy the chat is only going to cost you 20 minutes of your time so that you can start the conversation or join the conversation, whichever one you like. We would love for you to subscribe and to become a part of our growing family. And if I remind you of somebody who knows somebody, please share my channel with them and send them this video and say, hey, she reminds me of you. You need to go on over here and connect with her. Is she some kin of you? This y'all cousin? Because I could swear she act just like y'all. So yes, share my channel, share my videos, and send them to people who are like-minded and enjoy getting into some things. What do I mean? We research things over here. We research things over here, and guess what? We provide a little bit of history along the way. And we know in today's environment, in today's atmosphere, history is being erased every second of the day. So hopefully I have enough wisdom in me to help bring some things together, bring the past into the present so that we can go along the way and support in a way that we can support our young people. So welcome to the show today. It is all about Shedeur. Wherever you turn, you hear Shedeur Sanders. Wherever you put your ear, you hear Shedeur Sanders. You see Shedeur Sanders. And we know that content is king, right? So obviously, Shedeur is king, legendary, because everybody's content is surrounding and including Shedeur. So Shedeur is king, right? Content is king. So your content ain't popping if you're not talking about Shador, especially if you have yourself in the space of sports content or that particular sector. I don't call myself a savvy sports commentator. No, I am not that. I'm the internet auntie. But if you want to get into the mechanics of football, if you want to have a hard down conversation or debate about football and athletes, there are so many great and wonderful content creators here on YouTube. I'll leave that to them. But as for me, in my village, although I keep up with football, we support our nephews over in college football, period. I prefer to talk about the individual. I want to look into the person, I want to look into the people and talk about what's happening with them. How are they growing? How they might be struggling. So, what kind of advice can we give them? And how can we encourage them to be better? So, you're not going to get the mechanics of a game over here, but you will get filled in about the life and day and times of our young people who are what football players and college students. So thank you so much for being here. I see we have some people in the bushes. Don't be shy. Say hi. It's rude to come into somebody's house and don't speak, okay? But anywho, welcome. Let's get started with the show, y'all. Let's get started with the show. If you're gonna be shy, that's fine. That's fine. You could be a YouTube introvert. I'll take that, okay? But don't be over there hate watching because y'all know that one of my last, not the last video, maybe the one before that, YouTube told me that 82, 82.6 of you people in the bushes are not subscribed to my channel. So give me a show me some love, likes or something. Even if you don't like me, but you like peeking in on me, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hi, Miss Sherita Hayes. Thank you for joining today. I appreciate you for holding it down in the chat, Queen. So yeah, YouTube said 82.6 of the people that watch my content are not subscribed. And I just that hurt my feelings. That hurt my feelings so much. Y'all don't do me like that. Don't be over there shy watching. If you shy watching, I understand if you're not used to being out and about in the chat, okay? And you guess what? I know y'all have heard me go off a time or two, but that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Get in this chat and hang out. I don't act up on family, okay? Only the stupid stuff. Don't be scared. How you look going through life scared, honey, please. But anyway, I love you for being here. I love you for your support. So let's see what we got today. But before I start, I do want to bring some awareness to the show. Y'all know I have to bring a little bit of awareness whenever I come over to just inform us a little bit. So we know we are into a new season. Like we're going into the spring. I love winter, spring are my favorite times of year, by the way. And we have a new administration over our country. And with that, it not sure if you are aware or not, but in case you didn't know, we have several the United States of America has severed or discontinued their relationship with the World Health Organization and I believe the CDC, the Centers of Disease Control. So what does that mean? Usually in in the news, mainly the media and other circuits, hold on one second, in other circuits, we get information on different things regarding our health and our safety. So, being that the new administration has severed the relationships with the World Health Organization and the CDC, you're not going to be informed like you have previously been informed. So, if you are not paying attention or going out to find out what's happening, you may be in the dark about what's going on outside. So let's talk about a few, or I'm going to bring to the surface a few of the current outbreaks that are out there that I need you to go ahead and start taking universal precautions to protect yourself and your family. Give me a moment. Hold on. Share, share. Mm, where is it? Oh, I gotta go down some. Okay, my screen share is not. Oh, there we go. Okay, he was hiding from me. Okay, so let me know if you all could see the screen. So right here, I have outbreaks in the United States, and currently, um, if you let me know if you all can see. I think you can. Sharita, did you see him shooting a commercial? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Shedeur. We're gonna get to Shedeur in just a moment. Let me just get this little announcement out real quick. Give me one moment. Okay, there we go. Um, Currently, here are some current outbreaks in the USA. It's a quademic. The US is experiencing a quademic involving COVID. Well, the C, C, you know, the thing that we were dealing with previously, and the influenza and RSV and norovirus. So there's also a measles outbreak. There have been three distinct measles outbreak reported, and with 164 cases across 9 states. Okay, I would love to know which states those are. Hold on. Okay, 9 states report measles cases as outbreaks grow. So, one of the most contagious viruses in the world is spreading around the United States. So far, 2025, there have been three distinct measles outbreaks and at least 164 cases reported to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention coming from 9 states. I'm here to see what 9 states are. I know we have one case in Florida right now, down in Miami, and someone has passed away in Texas. So I'm just here to share the information. Hopefully, you all will go further and research for your own family safety and precautions. Hold on, I'm just strolling. I want to know what 9 states real quick. Uh, Also, I did hear in another notification that if you have children who are unvaccinated, to keep them home for the next 21 days because they will more than likely be exposed to the incubation period of measles. Um, Texas, the Texas measles outbreak, a specific measles outbreak in Texas, has led to a reported death, highlighting the severity of the situation. And then the other general health concerns ongoing include the impact of measles outbreak and other health issues such as the avian flu and long C. Okay, stay informed and take necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. So I hope this information can help someone. I do know a lot of times we get caught up in sports that we kind of be out of the loop in other areas. So part of what I do all day is find information. So if it's helpful for me, I hope that it's helpful to somebody else. Let me see what's going on here. Miss Sharita, hi Queen. You said that did I see him shooting a commercial? Who? Are we talking about Shedeur? I saw some of it, yes. If we're talking about his latest, one of his latest YouTube videos, yes, I did see it. I'm always impressed by Shador and his activities, to be honest. So let me see what else are we getting into today. Before I start, I do have a clip for us to take a look at real quick. Hold on. So, because Shador is gonna take all day, but before I get into Shador, just want to share a message from our hmm, from our NIL officer over at CU, and that would be Mr. Reginald Calhoun. It's something about an intelligent man that takes care of business. I could listen to um his takes all day long. I really can because he is so informative. So give me one moment. Let's get into that. So let me know if you all can see. Okay, let's see.
Is not part of the recruiting department. I don't want to
Oh,
be a GM, not in the sense of what it is in this space, because GMs manage rosters, GMs do scouting and recruiting. I'm more so looking for establishing a new role of chief athlete and revenue officer. So that's where you encompass what an athlete needs. So that's a separate entity, is not part of the recruiting the personnel, is not part of watching film. It's literally, how do I maximize this athlete while we have him for 4 years? I don't want to be a GM, not in the sense of what it is in this space, because GMs manage rosters, GMs do scouting and recruiting. I'm more so looking for establishing a new role of chief athlete and revenue officer. So that's where you encompass everything that's within the ecosystem of what an athlete needs. So that's a separate entity, is not part of the recruiting the personnel, is not part of watching film. It's literally, how do I maximize this athlete while we have him for 4 years? I don't want to be a GM.
so everyone, if you're just getting here, this is Reggie Calhoun. He is over NIL over at Colorado and helping to establish those relationships and cultivate them with our players. So in his post on X, he said NIL isn't just recruiting, it's a financial system. Most programs expect their GMs to handle everything, but NIL isn't a roster problem, it's a revenue problem. The best schools have a chief athlete revenue officer, a CARO, CARO. So to structure and sustain it, manage NIL or chase the schools that do. So basically, he's saying if you got the money, you're gonna be good. Now, if you're struggling to manage your NIL accounts and payouts and bringing in those endorsements, then you will not be at the top of the schools that get the best athletes. We know that. So it's good to know and see that we have somebody on Coach Prime's staff that is taking care of that area, and that's one thing Coach Prime don't have to have on his desk solely because we've seen in the past. I think our first year over at Colorado that some of the players were a bit. hmm, that's what it is. They were jealous or feeling a way that some players had NIL opportunities and they did not. But it's a lot that people don't understand about NIL. And to the young men who listen, it's a lot of work that you do, a lot of ground that you have to cover first on your own to even first scratch the surface or sniff the room where the NIL conversations are taking place. So I am so happy and excited to see how Colorado is going to involve in providing those opportunities to this fresh class. This is Coach Prime's first time ever, first year ever, not coaching his sons. So what's going to be the excuse then? To those who always want to say things like daddy ball and blame favoritism and nepotism with the in the locker room. So we don't have that now. So let's see if these parents and some of your family members are going to continue to join the conversation and help get the opportunities for their children who are in the program, because we have someone, not only is he a professional, he is a capable individual to help get your son the opportunities that are out there in terms of NIL and to help them manage that small wealth pot that they come into, when they're in college, if they're ever eligible for NIL. So, shout out to Mr. Reggie Calhoun. If y'all are not already, connected with him over on the Twitter X, go ahead and give him a follow. He's also on Instagram. I believe he has a great video on Instagram too. Give me one moment. Let me try to access that as well. Hi. Hi, Queens. The Queens is in the building today. Hey, y'all, real quick. Y'all know, ooh, I'm be off topic. But after I finish this, I have a message for the women. Y'all know what's coming up on Monday. So I hope we're getting ready for our day of rest. So I'll probably send that in the email. If you want the information for a day of rest, send me an email. My email address is located all over my YouTube platform. If you are a woman and you want to participate in a day of rest and you want some tips, go ahead and send me an email and I will send you a little prep sheet that we're working on. So thank you. Happy Friday, ladies. Welcome. It's almost springtime. It's almost free time. It's a beautiful day over here in Central Florida. I forgot to post my picture, but it's always a good time, and I'm always happy to see you all here. So that was Mr. Reggie Calhoun. Let me find his clip. He did an excellent video over on Instagram. Again, if you can follow him, connect with him on all platforms. Actually, you will not be disappointed. You won't be. I ain't gonna hold us too long because if it doesn't come up on my timeline, but I thought I saved it, but I'm not gonna keep looking for it either. So let's move on. We gonna move on, y'all. Okay. So as we were talking about NIL, I did want to share some information that I came across in terms of the 2025 NIL class. So we could talk about NIL all day, but we're gonna hone in to our nephews. So we know for the past couple of years, Shedeur and Travis, and sometimes Shiloh dominated the NIL valuations in terms of where they rank with NIL. So here is the top 10 Black NIL earners in 2025. We have Jeremiah Smith over at Ohio State. He's a wide receiver. He's 19. His valuation is um, up to $4 million. We have AJ. I'm not gonna even try to say his last name because I will mess it all up. He's at BYU. He's a safety. He's 17. And how much money y'all had in the bank at 17? His valuation is 3.8 million. And this is in NIL, not collectors, you guys. Collectors is a whole nother pot of money. This is his NIL valuation. Also, you have at number three, DJ Lagway, University of Florida. He's a quarterback at 19 and he's 3.8 million. So I do want to know. Okay, I think I know. So you have number two and number three, they have the same amount of valuation, which is 3.8 million. So then you get to say, well, who's why? Well, who is two, and why if they have the same amount? Well, like I was saying a few minutes ago to our up and coming athletes and our current athletes, there's a part of this that you have to do as well. That's what engaging on all your platforms, keeping your numbers up on your platform. So I want to say it's safe to say that AJ has more followers combined on all platforms than DJ, and that is why he is number two. So there's work to be done. You know, you just don't say, I'm a good athlete and I deserve an endorsement or deserve a partnership. Brands want to know, do you engage with your followers on the platforms, and do your followers support you? Do they purchase what you put out? You know, basically, do they pick up what you put down? Are you an influencer to the people that follow you, and do they support you? It's one thing for us to say how much we support these players and we're fans all day long, but do we stand? Do we stand up and stand in the paint? When they put stuff out, do we run and go get it if we have the money? I mean, I'm not a t-shirt wearer. I tell everybody I don't wear no damn t-shirts. I hate the way t-shirts look and feel on me. So I'll buy if I buy a t-shirt, it's because I support the cause. You probably will never see me in it, but I'll buy it for somebody else. So do we go and buy their t-shirt, socks, hats, and the products that they push? So that is where the fan base comes in when it comes to these individual players. And this is how we get them pushed to the top. And then another point to that is this also. I made the point a few weeks ago why I am not doing one-on-one highlights of football players right now. Here's the thing. They already everybody already know. Colorado, all eyes are on Colorado. Boom. Colorado has all the eyes, all the engagement. We know that. And we have seen people, you know, tease the fan base, act like they were down with the CU, and be all up in Coach Prime face, even befriend Shedeur. So that standing next to Shedeur, you know you're gonna get a look. Hanging out with Shedeur, you know you're gonna get a look. We've seen it all. Y'all, do I need to remind y'all about the first year spring game when Colorado came over to see you and they had the spring game and the lemonade and what's his name? MLC Montana Lemonius. I think his last name was Craig. But we saw him hanging out with Shedeur, working out with Shedeur, on vacation with Shedeur, all of that. And it seemed like the chemistry was there, right? I kind of know some things and know some things in the background. But lo and behold, after the spring game, he had a great spring game. He had built a rapport with Shedeur, had a had a great game. Shedeur fed him the ball all spring game. Right after that, that boy jumped in the portal. But we had already grew to like him and was looking forward to seeing him cultivate that wide receiver relationship with Shedeur. No, he came up off that cloud and dipped, as did a lot of other ones. They came up off the clouds at CU, meaning the fan base embraced them, the fan base followed them, the fan base connected with them all over social media. Their numbers grew just from them visiting Colorado, their numbers grew, right? Just from them not committing, just us thinking they were going to commit, their numbers grew. And see, well, this is a numbers game. We're talking about NIL. So, as a fan base, it's one thing to support everybody. Of course, I'm not saying don't follow people, do whatever you want to do. But, however, we have to understand that when it comes to our support, people know, people know that Colorado has a crazy ass, excuse my language, fan base that is going to eat up new potential talent. So they court us, they play around with us, they get here, and then when the portal opens again, people who we least expect, they back in the portal. Hell, we had people from last season that went back to the school they came from after they done sold us t-shirts and everything, child, and came up and got a quick bag, honey, off of the CU fan base. It's all good. So what I am saying is this. when they come over here to Colorado, they have a strategy. It's a good one, but we're on to you all now. We don't know who's going to jump in the spring portal, okay? We want everybody to do what's best for them. So, what we are saying though, the day of people coming over to Colorado, building up their numbers so that they can fatten up their pocketbook to go somewhere else and get a better NIL deal, we know now. You never intended to stay, but you got the numbers. Now you can go over there and negotiate your NIL contract when you jump in the portal somewhere else. You probably got people behind the scenes doing that now, but it's all good. It's all good. This is why I am choosing to wait to after the spring portal period before I start loving on and pouring all over our nephews. So I just want to see who's going to be here after that. You say Wilkerson wants to um come back so bad. He admitted it a few days ago. He should have never left. Yeah, they should. And a lot of times it don't be them. It's the people around them. And it's so sad. It's just so unfortunate that, a lot of and we seeing it right now with somebody who was at Colorado. He left Colorado. First of all, I knew he wasn't sold in. You could tell when somebody's in, right? Their whole disposition, their attitude, it's just different. But when you see somebody who's purposely staying away from, you know, being cohesive with the union, it just looks like you don't want to be there. So now we're looking at another young man who left our program, came back to Florida. Now he's back in the portal, you know. And my point is this: a lot of times it's not them; they don't have the proper guidance. You listening to your mom, which is supposed to, but is your mother the professional in the business? Like, and as parents, some of the parents they're looking at NIL as their get out of debt free, or I ain't got to work no more. My child gonna go to college and get this NIL bag. But the thing is, 90% of them don't even get an NIL deal. So then you have parents living off the child's collective payments. So he in college supposed to be focused on being a athletic scholar, and he got to worry about paying bills back at home with his little collective check. That's crazy. That's too much pressure. I have a whole listen. I said I wasn't gonna act up in these people internet. I'm gonna stay calm, but it's absolutely sad that parents have they depend on their children like this. That's not what it's supposed to be. It's not. It's not. It's not. The best we should do when we know our children are about to enter this era of NIL and they are a promising athlete is to make sure they have been very well educated when it comes to um financial literacy, making sure his money goes into different places, like, getting him a trust or LLC established, making sure he has proper insurance for everything, rental insurance, his car insurances, everything, and just living off a stipend. It's best to learn to live below your means. I don't care if you make $100,000 a month, however they split up these payments, but try to live beneath that for a minute. I know it's anyway. Let me go. Let me keep going. So number four is Lenore Sellers. He's $3.7 million in NIL over at South Carolina. Bryce Underwood of Michigan, 2.9 million. His valuation is sitting. Then you have number six is Darian Mensa. I hope I said that right. Y'all help me with these pronunciations. Darian Mensa, he's sitting at 2.8 million over at Duke. Ryan Williams, 2.7 million over at Alabama. Caleb Downs, he's 2.4 million over at Ohio State. CJ Bailey is 2.3 million over at North Carolina State. And Taylor Green from Arkansas, he's $2.1 million. And these are our top 10 Black NIL earners in college football. So congratulations to them. We wish them much success and much blessings. My point in bringing that up is I am Mr. Calhoun. Who is next from Colorado? That's what I want to know. Who's going to top this chart? I want us to have a top five and then at least a top 10 athlete. We want somebody from Colorado. And this is going to show us the work that Reggie Calhoun is doing if he is able to position one of our players at the least, but more than one of our players in the top 20. So we're looking forward to keeping up with his progress and encouraging our nephews along the way. Let me see what y'all talking about over here. Hey, 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 I see we got 15 people in the room. Welcome to my channel. I am Discerning Goddess. If you are new here, feel free. Y'all so petty, somebody clicked off. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you like what I'm putting down, come over here in the chat and join the conversation, you guys. I am going to get to the topic of our show really soon. I just wanted to get some information out real quick. Y'all know how I do. I have to run through some things real quick and get it out the way before we get on with the real show. And I'm not going to be long unless y'all want me to be here all day with y'all. But please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. There is a poll at the top of the comments, okay? Go ahead and put your answer. There's no right or wrong answer. We just want to poll the audience to see what y'all think about all this stuff that's going on and all these conversations being had. Because you know I got something to say, right? I don't play by my nephews. Y'all had to know that I was going to come over here and pop it, but I am going to calm down because I do not want to get myself upset. I am fasting right now. I'm trying to avoid all confrontation. I'm trying to keep myself at a level head. Uh, and making sure and just being mindful that my behavior is pleasing to God. So while I do that, that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. If y'all not fasting, I need y'all to act up in the chat for me and even tell me to drop the link so you can stand in the gap for your girl and go ahead and support and speak up and chime in for our nephew, Mr. Shedeur Sanders. You heard me. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get over here real quick. So we gonna go through some stuff and we about to go down the rabbit hole of all the mess and see what in the world these people talking about. You know they can't never leave us alone. Never leave us alone. But I think Coach Brown warned us though. He warned us. He told us it was coming. He told us it was coming. My mouth ain't terrible. Now, if you come up here and say it, I won't have to. You said Wilkerson was a beast. Yeah, we talking about where did he go? He went to what, Arkansas or Houston? And other running back at Jackson State. Oh, him. I know you're talking about. And he had a few snaps in Colorado. And he went to Georgia. I know who you're talking about. I thought he graduated though. Didn't he graduate? And I did go through his Twitter account and we read that he was feeling regretful for leaving. But that's the thing. We have to raise, yeah, Georgia State. We have to always have the important conversation, not just one time, over and over again with our young people about making their own decisions. Don't let nobody influence the decision you're about to make. Because see, he had a relationship, a great relationship with Coach Prime and Coach Mo. So I'm not sure what led up to him deciding to leave CU when he was set right there. Maybe there was a conversation he had, I don't know, but it looked like that he was in a great environment to grow and be next up. But for whatever reason he left. He left when Bishop left. He left when all that whole crew, Tavares and everybody. But we were definitely, I was surprised that he left. Some people I was not so surprised. But one day maybe we'll do a show following up on that first group. of 2023, I think it was, that came to see you to see where are they now. Okay, and it's just to, check up on them, to maybe encourage them and send them some referrals and resources, send them, provide them some direction if it has not turned out the way that they thought it would be. So we'll probably do a show like that. I hate to put my creative ideas out because I know somebody gonna try to go do it. But here's the thing: you can steal the recipe, but you ain't got my sauce, so you can't do it like I do it. But go ahead, somebody else will do it. Thank you, Matt. So we are going to get into our show on our nephew. Y'all, why do people acting like y'all see I have to go there. I have to say it the way I have to say it the way the general mass media is expecting. Hi, Portia. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you. The mass media, the way they talk about Shedeur, I'll just say this. I saw a video, and they're making up stuff at this point. I came across a YouTube video, and it was looking like it was AI generated, and they were doing a piece on Travis, right? They say Travis was homeless. He lived in a car, all kind of stuff. I'm like, Travis ain't never said that. Where did he get this information from? Whoa. So this what we doing right now? So and I have to say, like, so now Shador is getting all this backlash because he's not coming into the interviews or sitting at the podium looking like a frail, broken, poor piece of black thuggish trash. That's what they expect. I thought we were in a time where we were evolving, even if that's how you feel. And I'm talking to the clear people. If that's how you feel, that all young black men, young black boys are are at a disadvantage when it comes to their resources and everything, you have to know that that's not the truth, right? You have to know it's not like that, even though you would want us to be like that. But everybody knows. I hope y'all can hear me. Everybody knows that Shador is not in that percentile, you know. So even though they want someone to be the face of the NFL, because this is what this is all about, the face of the NFL, they want him to have a story that they can eat off of, right? So obviously, Shador's story is way too good for them to talk about all over mass media. This is all about the storyline, you guys. Putting Shador as the face of the NFL is it doesn't work for a group of people because Sh- Shador being the Shador, the person we're looking at, they don't want to tell the world that he comes from a good family. He already has established wealth. He has a great upbringing, and his we have the history to prove it is all over books, media, videos, and on top of it, Shador NFL legacy, meaning his father is a famer. You know, so it's it just seems too out of whack. That's not the story that the NFL or the mass media wants to tell. Now, had this been another quarterback that happened to be of another ethnic group or nationality, preferably European, Anglo-Saxon, okay, go ahead. They will put him right in Shador's place with the same demographic makeup. It's okay, keep the wealth, keep the good family. It's okay. We'll put you as the face. But that's not it. That's not the story that they want to put all over television for young children to see, for young black children to aspire to. They do not want to promote healthy black families. They do not want to promote young men that have a healthy relationship with their black father. It definitely don't want to promote black wealth, people who spend their money wisely, who got the money, okay? Probably more than the coaches. So this is what we're going. We're going from college and NIL to our players who have utilized their wealth and used it well, okay? And now they're not going into the NFL broken and living impoverished, you know, situations, or ready to compromise themselves for a check, for a payout. Shador is not that particular type of young man. See, they're used to sunning them. See, Shador ain't got to compromise because Shador got his own money. He got enough land out there. Daddy just built him a whole nother living space out there. So this is a different type of black child, different type of young black man. So because of that, you make up stories and you talk about his personality, not about his talent. I thought we was talking about football. So now, since they can't call him, you know, make a story and singing, because you know the first thing they do when our young men get their signing bonus, say, "I'm gonna buy my mama a house. I'm gonna buy my daddy a car." See, that ain't the story. That's not Shador's story, y'all. They mad because they can't make him poor as hell. And there's nothing wrong with struggle. Don't get me wrong. See, the people who are probably 2 and 3 and maybe 4 coming up to the draft, their environment was so different from Shador. This is why they keep comparing him and making him compete with Cam Ward. Even though they are friends, they know, the media knows, and of course they have done their research fully, fully. They know there is a different story between the two young men, clear as day. And that's not the story they want to tell. Hell, Kwame Brown. If you know who I'm talking about, he tells his story. He said that he was drafted out of high school, and the media was all over him. They wanted to talk about him coming from a single mom's home and not knowing his daddy. He said, "That's not true. I know my daddy. My daddy in prison." He knew his daddy, but he didn't. Even with that, he did not look down or talk ill of his black father. So when they couldn't break him or influence him to be a victim on television, they started to bash him, and that's where you saw, the other news analysts start calling him a bust. Now everybody calls him a bust because he didn't get with the program. As Cam Newton told Shador, you got to get with the program. So they broke Cam Newton too. While I'm on that, he was a bit unmanageable. He had his moments with his bad personality as a professional until they broke him, made him wear a tutu, some stockings, a wig, and lipstick, I think it was. Had him over there looking crazy. Yes. So it's the mindset. If they can't have your mind, if they cannot turn your mind, put their mind into you to make you be a mental person, a free worker, y'all know the name for that, starts with an S, a mental person, they don't really want to deal with you. Shador, I have been around thousands of young people as an educator, mentor, and all of that. So when I say Shador is one of the greatest young men that can be in a youth program, that can show up in front of people on a panel and talk to them, this is what we are trying to get our young men to show up as. Okay. And the other side of that also is this: even if we as parents, we grew up in a certain era, guess what? Each generation, we have come to a point where we work so hard, or we make sure we have access to things or a life better, much better than the one that some of us were exposed to. So even if we experience something, our children are not going to have that same experience. I mean, I was just having a conversation. Um, y'all know I'm a mom of young adults. I have 2 sons and 2 girls. So I was having a conversation with my ex-husband maybe last weekend, and we were talking about our sons. And of course, I'm a mom. I struggle with some things, but he had to remind me. He said, "Well, they were sheltered." He said, "They're not going to get stuff. They're not going to understand. It's just going to take them some time." I said, "Well, well, yeah, I know they were sheltered, which is why I'm always reminding them of things. But what I was telling him was, I need for you to have certain conversations to give them the game. I can only give it to them from a woman. You need to tell them what's up out here because they really, I don't need them running into one of these little girls running circles around them." So the point was, he said, "Well, they were sheltered." Yeah, we made sure they were sheltered. I tell people all the time, I'm the president of the Overparenting Organization of America. I have overparented all of them. So it's hard for me to not be in their business. Okay. They'll have to tell mama, I got it. Okay, fine. Fine, you got it. So same. Our children, they look good, they handsome, and I'm talking about all these young people. They're strong, they're athletic, they show up in society and show up in life with their stuff together. They are a different version of all of us. So you still have this mindset of old white America that in their mind we're supposed to be there and they're supposed to be there, meaning higher and better than us. But when they come across a young person such as a Shedeur, my thing is, at what point in your mind did you decide that Deion Sanders would not reproduce himself, which is what we see in Shedeur, a reproduction of the greatest to the next level of a Deion Sanders. Same with Shiloh. If you are a good parent, your goal is to reproduce yourself into your children, and everything that you were not you didn't get a chance to achieve and aspire that you aspire to be. We expose that to our children. Everything that you didn't have access to, we work hard enough to expose it and give it access to our children. I don't understand where this mindset comes from that Shador is too this or too that, and he's too confident. When was it against societal rules that we were supposed to ever go anywhere lacking confidence? I don't understand that. We teach our children to have confidence and own it and don't ever let it go. So this gaslighting of the NFL draft is some BS. It is strictly gaslighting because Shador shines so bright. From what I am understanding, he is shining so bright that it makes men feel uncomfortable when he walk in the room. I don't understand. Y'all tell me, how is he supposed to enter a room? Because my mama, my aunties, all the women in my family told me, and I'm sure y'all seen the quote somewhere, you better walk in that room like God sent you there. That's what I was taught. You better walk in that room like the ancestors sent you there. That's what I was taught. Not that you are better than anybody, but you own who you are. When you have the ability to know who you are and whose you are, and to have the confidence in your own skills, who gonna tell you ain't? I mean, you can feel the same way about yourself, but that's you. I don't have nothing to do with that. I only control me. Shador, he's in control of himself. They really want young men to be in this draft class, young black men to be in this draft class that don't have control of themselves. They are upset that he has a father that has the nerve to be in his business. See, because when you don't have guidance, when they have young men in the draft class that don't have guidance and proper influence, they can turn him any which way but loose and turn him into a fool, a tool, and anything else that they want to do with him. So let's get into some content. I don't see y'all chatting down there, but how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me pull up this. Hold on. And I'm very happy too. about the show of support that um the analysts, even analysts that I don't typically like, I am very happy to see them show up and speak up for Shador because this was totally uncalled for. Give me one moment. Okay, here we go.
I think Shedeur Sanders' security makes a lot of people insecure. I think Shedeur Sanders realizing, wait a second, I've made money before I got into the NFL. Wait a second, my pops has already taught me about the value not only of money, but the value, most importantly, of myself. Shedeur Sanders has realized, wait a second, who are you to dictate how I should feel, how I should think, how I should act, and how I should move? Furthermore, apple, tree, it don't fall far from it. Who you think his dad was? Remember 1989, the New York Giants wanted to interview Deion Sanders. The New York Giants, they simply said, hey, Deion, we want you to take this written test. Deion said, why am I taking a written test? The Giants said, well, we make all of our draft picks, potential draft picks, take it. Deion said, hey, where do y'all pick at? They said in the 17 range. Deion Sanders said, oh, I'm going to be long gone before y'all ever pick. And he walked up out the room. Apple, tree, who you think raised Shedeur Sanders? So when Shedeur Sanders, I would suggest, comes off as confident, comes off as secure, comes off as knowing who he is, you insecure dictate his security is something that's an issue. That's how I feel about it. I think Shedeur Sanders' security makes a lot of people insecure. I think Shedeur Sanders realizing, wait a second, I've made money before I got into the NFL. Wait a second, my pops has already taught me about the value not only of money, but the value, most importantly, of myself. Shedeur Sanders has realized, wait a second, who are you to dictate how I should feel, how I should think, how I should act, and how I should move? Furthermore, apple, tree, it don't fall far from it. Who you think his dad was? Remember 1989, the New York Giants wanted to interview Deion Sanders. The New York Giants, they simply said, hey, Deion, we want you to take this written test. Deion said, why am I taking a written test? The Giants said, well, we make all of our draft picks, potential draft picks, take it. Deion said, hey, where do y'all pick at? They said in the 17 range. Deion Sanders said, oh, I'm going to be long gone before y'all ever pick. And he walked up out the room. Apple, tree, who you think raised Shedeur Sanders? So when Shedeur Sanders, I would suggest, comes off as confident, comes off as secure, comes off as knowing who he is, you insecure dictate his security is something that's an issue. That's how I feel about it. I think Shedeur Sanders' security makes a lot of people insecure.
And I don't even always agree with Emmanuel
I
Ocho,
think Shedeur
but
Sanders realizing, wait a second,
this is that one time where he said something that I 1000% agree with him. I'm sorry, y'all, I had to drink. Shador on another level. He don't even get excited around high level people. No, he don't. That's the problem. He don't worship them. He's not starstruck or celebs. When your dad is prime, it's nothing to him being around rich folk. Yeah, rich folk, influential people, people in the room, like they want somebody that is that has the potential to I'll do anything for an opportunity, and that's not Shador. Okay, that ain't never been him, and that's not going to be none of the Sanders children. So I've never agreed with Emmanuel Ocho so hard, except for this one. We don't ever see eye to eye, but he got it right this time. It's seeming like if y'all pay attention, there's definitely a divide in the media because the brothers is standing 10 toes down on their platforms for Shador. And y'all know I love to see it because I was always upset that there was not enough support. There was not enough support. I'm like, goodness gracious. But yep, shout out to Emmanuel Ocho for that. Give me one moment. And what's his name? LaShawn McCoy, I think his name is. He also made a statement. I love what he said. I love what he said in support of Sador because it was so real. Hold on, I'm looking for his video. I mean, it's so much content out here on Shador. It's like, oh, here we go. Give me one moment, y'all. Found it. Found it. Found it. Give me one moment. Let's go back to my screen real quick. Let's go.
Yes. He was he trying to apply for a job or something? Like they know what he do. They got tape on him, and they know who his daddy is.
Apply for
That's
a
the thing,
job.
though, man. It's like everybody has so much to say and all these opinions, but the man that did it the best on every level, Deion Sanders, and that's my father. You know what's best for me? Listen, I know one thing. If you want a winner, you want a skilled quarterback, you need that gene in his blood that he has, the winner. You go get Shedeur Sanders. Stop playing around.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I think he's going back to the pro day to give his homeboys a chance, his teammates.
Yeah.
So such a good point.
So look, you might can't go
So
to this.
good.
His brother, right? His
Mhm.
brother didn't get
Shiloh.
invited to the
Shiloh.
NFL Combine. Cool. I'm going. I'm not doing nothing here. I'm gonna interview with y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all coaches and all that. You see my intellect, how smart I am. I can know the playbook, etc. And I'm gonna go back home to Colorado, and I want all y'all recruiters, all y'all scouts, y'all come to Colorado to see me play and perform. And when you do that, that means you're gonna see my running back. You're gonna see some wide receivers, see some linemen. You're gonna see my brother.
Yeah.
You're gonna see all of us perform. And that's when you give. That's when you really go back home and give love to everybody. So now there's reports. Oh my God, we came for Shedeur, but man, maybe Shiloh's better than I thought he is.
Really good point, man.
And I think that's what the boss does. That's why when I watch Shedeur, it's like everybody else is playing the game of trying to be a draft pick.
Yeah.
He ain't playing that game. His daddy got something playing something different.
Yeah.
As being a boss. As in, I'm gonna call my own shot because I'm that good. You want a superstar player? Go get him, dog.
Yeah. See.
Thank you. Listen, he's definitely moving this Shady McCoy. That's what they call him. I just know him by McCoy. So I appreciate them showing up for nephew, and this is what aunties and uncles do because so you all want to see
Yes.
him
Hey,
and
what's
have
he
a
trying to
voice
apply for a job?
and opinion over this young man. So as aunties and uncles, we show up. We show up. That's right, your baby, Jennifer, our nephew Shiloh. When they want to come out here and talk crazy, hold up, wait a minute, wait. This is what we got to say. Let's put some things in check.
Job or something? Like they know what he do. They got tape on him, and they know who his daddy is.
Apply.
Right. So it's all of this gaslighting. Oh my goodness, he's not coming to the draft. Oh, he's not performing in the combine. Oh, he's arrogant. Come on now. And we're so you and I don't know, we get upset because it's ridiculous at this point. We have watched them over at least 3 seasons change the goalposts. Last year it was too much. Last football season, they was changing the goalposts 6 or 7 times a day. When it come to Colorado, it used to be 2 or 3 times a week, but they kept changing that goalpost so quick. Every day it was like 5 new goals. Well, they didn't do that. They won, but they didn't do that. So they'll come up with a whole nother reason change to move the goalpost. So we're used to it. So same thing, it's not no different right here. So this young man, Shador, has been called poised, accurate, everything. He not only called, we've observed him be great, better than his peers in the same position as him. Now it's come down to who can articulate, you know, the lie the best. Who can take away and diminish his skill and his talent the best when it comes to the clear pasty mayo community. So yeah, so that's what we're seeing because they want so bad for Jackson Dart to be Shador. It's just not. If Jackson Dart could be in Shador's shoes, if he can be the face of college football, it would have happened by now. They wouldn't have to lie, cheat, and steal. When it comes to telling accurate news and analyzing this young man's college career on his way to the NFL, they're trying to push him so far down in the draft in their mind play these mind games just so they want a white quarterback drafted number one so bad. Well, just draft him number one. It is not that hard. It's not that hard. When it comes to that, it's all about black and white. People gonna disagree. Y'all can disagree all y'all want to. The only people who would disagree is the people in the other community, right? But if a team wants a white quarterback to be number one, just draft him first. It's just that simple. Y'all don't have they don't have to get on their platforms, get on these television sports shows and tell complete and utter lies about Shedeur's ability and his capabilities. Hold on. Real quick. Cause sometimes you have to show people just who you are. Shedeur was second team, second team all SWAC in 2021, first team all SWAC in 2022, first team all Big 12 in 2024. He was the SWAC Freshman of the Year in 2021, SWAC Offensive Player of the Year in 2022. He was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year in 2024. He won the Jerry Rice Award in 2021, Deacon Jones Trophy in 2022, Johnny United's Golden Arm Award in 2024, and last but not least, he's the quarterback to the Heisman winner. Okay? So I don't know about y'all. Were there any other wide receivers up at, invited to the Heisman ceremony? Because you did, although Travis won or it was given to him, I have my differences about that as well. Anything that they give to somebody else, they did it because they did not want to put Shedeur in that light. But even though Travis was awarded the Heisman, hell, him and Shedeur won the Heisman. Because I don't believe that if Travis would have been at another university, that a quarterback would have fed him the ball as much as Shedeur did. Y'all give me one moment. Somebody calling my phone. Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, with all this talk about what Shador can't do, what he won't be able to do, show me a more decorated quarterback in this class. I ain't gonna go pull it up, but I would love for these sports analysts and all these people out here, Shador, say what you want to say about his confidence. He's supposed to be confident. If he wasn't confident, he would not have achieved all this. And I don't need to know everything. Somebody can say, drop the link. Let me just. I love for somebody to come educate me, enlighten me on a lot of stuff. I don't have to be the one up here saying all this, but I would love for somebody to come up here if they feel different or if they want to add to this. But my thing is, with all this so-called backlash about Shador's confidence and his brashness, let me tell you something. I don't want no weak behind quarterback out there acting like he's scared to get hit and fold and all that stuff. Shador has done much with less. Show me a quarterback in this class that has gone through the adversity that he's gone through and persevered to still be great. Show me a quarterback in this class that also has the resume as Shador. Exactly. A quarterback is supposed to be confident. He's the leader of the team. Hell, we remember the clip. of him and Travis and him and Will Shepherd. He said he don't care. I'm saying it clean, but he said I don't give a catch the ball. And then he told Will Shepherd. Will Shepherd was acting like he wanted to complain about an ankle or something. He said, "Is you ready to go? Because it's gonna be a go ball." Come on now. What he supposed to say? With all due respect, I just really want you to try hard to catch the ball, man. Who finna go out there and win games like that? Sometimes you gotta talk to people crazy. Not all the time, but just sometimes. But when he's off the field, Shedeur, he's very balanced. He's very level headed. And I know this from being on the outside looking in. Plus our birthdays. My birthday February 6th, his is the 7th. I know we share some of the same qualities. What they're doing to him is trying to gaslight the public. For real. I'm a project manager in several areas. Listen, people come on the job and they love me at first until I have to push people to get the job done. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. No, failure is not an option. I can't stand excuses, especially when things can get done. I don't want to hear about that. Hell, I got realities too, but I'm here. I don't want to hear about it. Fix it and get to work. And that's what Shedeur is, and that's what he demonstrated to me. And if that wasn't enough for them to say this boy is a leader, he is him. Who in the hell talks crazy to people like that, and then the person goes out and be great and be effective? Yeah, he needed to. He wasn't brash. I don't believe Shedeur was brash in his interviews at the combine or at the East West game. I think that people have preconceived perceptions of him based on what other people have said and based on them disagreeing with how he shows up in this world. And then you wait to this season, draft season, to open your mouth crazy talking about his personality when you should be focused on his skills, his capabilities. That is some whack mess and it's cowardly. One thing I can't stand is a coward. I really can't. I know I talk crazy on here. What's up, Flock? I miss you. Thank you so much for tapping in. One thing I cannot stand is a person that's just a coward. They say all this mess and anonymity. You want to be an anonymous person. Say it with your chest. Let us know so we can exclude you. Because obviously, if you gonna talk like this, one of the top 5 or 7 scouts in the NFL say this type of mess, we want to know who you are. Because as his auntie, as Coach Prime, his dad, we want to make sure we're gonna tell y'all right now, move my son off your list. Take my nephew off your list. We don't want to be over there with y'all. And at the end of the day, y'all, this is about, again, I told y'all, black privilege. Y'all saw it in my title. Shedeur has a coach, a trainer, Daryl, and they don't like it. Can't nobody put their stamp on Shedeur but Daryl. Yes, Coach Schumer was over the offense, the OC over there, but Shedeur has been training under Daryl for years. So if you say Shedeur is great, he's excellent, you have to give some of that credit to that man over there for select QB, right? He has 2 quarterbacks in the draft that's going to be taken or could be taken 1 and 2 or in the top 3. If that's not something, we thinking it's about Shedeur, but they mad as hell that it's too much black excellence surrounding that young man. That's at the end of the day. I'm sorry, I got to say what's not being said, y'all. They mad about that, and they don't want to give a light to it. Oh, they gonna listen wherever they can dig up some negativity. And listen, sometimes hell, half of them on their 6th wife and their 6th husband. So listen, I don't care nothing about that. Their parents are divorced and he still progressed. he still proceeded to be great. And that's what I said a few minutes ago. They don't want Shedeur to be the face of the NFL because as a black young man, he's not broken enough. He's not poor. He didn't come from poverty, and he's not in need to the point where he'll do anything for an opportunity or some money. That's the problem they have with him. If any of these GMs have a problem with him, that's the problem because he already is set. He already is solid. They don't feel like he's hungry enough or they can use and abuse him like they do a lot of these black athletes that come in. Let's come on now. A lot of these young men that get into um the camps, the workout camps, I hope they already know that many of them are just there to be crash dummies. These teams already know who they want and who they're going to keep on. A lot of y'all are there to just help work them out. We already know team A, team B, or whatever. I hope we have informed our young men that if they don't get drafted, you probably going to have to compete, and sometimes you're not going to get the position. You're just there to make somebody else better. And my world, we call them crash dummies. He didn't like Shedeur over Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, since you said that, let me bring that up. Flock. Y'all give me a moment. Give me a moment. See, you got to get me heated, and y'all gotta keep me calm now. If y'all want to come up here and talk about these wet, pasty people, go ahead. Tell me to drop the leak because I'm trying to keep my cool head, for as long as I can keep it. So, let me pull up that particular dummy who said that mess because he sounds ridiculous. There we go. And it gets crazier and crazier out here, y'all. It's beyond audacity. It's beyond audacity. Okay. Thank you, Flock, for bringing that up. That was on my agenda too. So we have this person, Colin Cowherd. Cowherd. Let me Google him. Shout out to Life in Football. You got to share a name with this butt white. Give me one moment. Hmm, okay. So as I can see, and it's always the people with the most privilege or this superiority mindset that exists. We're gonna call it what it is. Um, that say the stupidest, most disrespectful things. So it says Ishador Sanders' talent, work ethic, and leadership are undeniable. Why should his hat position dictate the respect he receives? Let's challenge outdated perceptions and professionalism and ask who really gets to decide what success looks like. Are Collins' thoughts fair or foul? They're definitely foul. So this man said, I fully support Shador until he started wearing his hat backwards. So let me say this. What does a backwards hat signify? Because I'm lost. Y'all help me understand. Because sometimes there are some little bitty rules in society that indicate things about people. So my question is, when a person turns their hat backwards, what is that an indication of? Because I really don't understand what this has to do with anything. I was about to bring him up, Mac, because do they say this about baseball players? Do they make these comments about baseball players? That and they ain't got to like us for being confident, but we are. They want us to be head bowed and broken to receive scraps and bad treatment. And see, they know that at the end of the day, if they mistreat Shador, he can decide whether he want to continue on or walk away. This is the stuff people do. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. I have seen this done. I had one of my employees had to deal with somebody in another department, and the lady told her, "You know you need your job because you just bought that new car. You got car payments and a baby." Held that over that young girl's head. She was a young sister. I said, "So how you feel?" She said, "I need my job." I said, "That's up. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you this: nobody should be talking to you crazy. You're an adult, and we should all be giving the respect that we want in return." So when you're dealing with a person that knows better and that wa- operates on a free mindset, you can't hold things over my head like my mortgage. You can't hold things over my head like the ability to provide for my family. You know what you can do with this little job? You can get it back, and I'll get another one. Patrick Mahomes wears his head. Yeah, they're just picking, they're grasping at straws in the air that they don't see. Like they're picking up anything right now just to take shots at him for being a young black man. So in essence, he's talking about he fully supported Shador until he turned his hat backwards. So a backwards hat. Let me ask you this because I live in a small town that's agricultural. When I go to the Wawas or the racetrack to get gas, I see a lot of European looking Anglo-Saxon looking people with a backwards hat, okay? With backer in their mouth. What does that even mean? And I'm sure if I shopped at Walmart, I'll see a lot of them up in there with a backwards hat, buying that old GMO behind food. What are we talking about? See, it's these little itty bitty things. It's so telling. It's so telling. It's so telling. Oh my God. Listen, let me tell you something. Like I've said before, that superiority mindset, it exists from the womb to the tomb, from the executive level down to the entry levels. So you have executives who feel like they are better than other executives and all of them make the same amount of money just because one is white and one is another nationality. They believe that they are better. And like I tell people all the time, you can get two janitors, two custodians, one black, one white, and they make the same amount of money. It's always gonna be that other one that think they the boss of everybody. See, when they can't control your mind, they don't want to deal with you. Shador does not move like a man that's going to be controlled like that. Yes, yes. Flying on the back of the truck, come around here, you gonna see they behind flying down the street with a flag on the pole, honey. For real, I'm in Florida, so they are open racists right here. That's why I don't care about nothing about how people feel about when I talk my talk. Because unless you saw what I saw and see what I see, you can't tell me what to say about these people because I know them. They will smile in your face and wish you the best and say it and and set up all type of sabotage when you leave. Child, please. And the mere fact that they have a platform that gives them a voice to say these demeaning things about somebody, they feel like they can. That's fine, you can. That's why on my YouTube I dedicated to motivating, uplifting, and inspiring black youth because I know y'all not gonna do it. We're gonna keep this narrative going. You got a story, I got a story. You have a perspective, I have one too. And I don't care if I only have 320 just subscribers. Y'all listen, they share my junk all over the place. I look at the numbers. Y'all share it. You probably send it to your other racist friends. Look at this black lady. Look what she said. You damn right I said it. So hey, listen, I'm the auntie that's gonna get busy. I might not say it in public, but behind closed doors, this whole house is kitchen table talk. We kitchen table talk, black folk over here. I'm gonna clean you up in the house. That's for when you get out there, you know what you're dealing with. Very, like, man, please let me keep going. So yeah, it's the nerve, it's the nerve, honey. But my thing is, they'll say all this about Shador, and when they see Coach Prime again, they be like, "How you doing, guy?" All smiles, all happy, all enamored, all up in that man's face after you done defamed and slandered his son. And Coach Prime is, like I always say, he a good man, honey. He's so classy. I I can keep my mouth shut. I can't be in nobody. I can't be around people like this. You're not gonna be in my face knowing you done drug me. You said, remember last night that guy tried to check you. You spend your, I know you was laughing at that, Mac. You was laughing at that ignorance. I said, Mac done missed me. I said, hey to you, and you too busy laughing. So, y'all, here's the story. We on Bucky live stream last night, y'all, because Bucky went live. And so y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know I do send super chats. I ain't trying to be seen. It's just that's my way of supporting people around YouTube. I ain't new to super chat. I don't even know what the numbers say when I send my super chat. When people send super chat, they say, "Hey, celebrate such and such for sending their first super chat." Boom, boom, boom. I don't even know what number I'm on at this point. That's how much I send a super chat. Okay, I believe in showing my support. You know, so I sent Bucky a super chat. Hush, man, you ain't supposed to even bring that up. But since you brought it up, y'all, if y'all was on the live stream last night, I sent Bucky a super chat, 19.99. And I don't know if this was a troll because I ain't never seen the person before in my life on YouTube. That boy talking about some and I meant to screenshot it. I don't know if a boy or girl. He said just he replied to my super chat talking about that you could have saved that money and what he said, feed your children and spend it on your children or something like that. So, and that's the point. People think other ways. I guess he thought I was some struggling uh black woman in poverty with a house full of babies. Well, I do have them, but sir. So in my mind, I looked at it. I said, "Who is this fool?" I clicked on his channel to see if I knew him. Didn't know him. I said, "Hold up now." It's a lot that I wanted to say, but I didn't say. I did not snap. I basically said, sir, I did give a hand gesture. With a hand gesture, I said, my children are grown, so mind your own broke business. Sometimes you got to you got to put a troll in their damn place. So the way I looked at it was this: they didn't have a problem with me. The problem was they don't want to see the Sanders children or the Sanders family be blessed. That's the way I saw it. Somebody was over there not just counting my pockets, they was counting bucket pockets because people were sending him super chats. But out of all people that sent the super chat, why you hone in on me? Because it was like five of them that sent a super chat before I did. Yeah, like, oh my God, how dare you come for me in my blessings? Because when you bless somebody, guess what? God gonna bless you. I don't care if they got a rich daddy or got a successful business. Me being over there, I'm just happy to be a the part of YouTube, the part of the supporters that help keep the narrative, you know, truthful. Because we know society is gonna paint the picture that they want to paint. I'm just happy to be over there. That's it. Showing my support. Hell, I click on every well off video. I'm I wasn't trying to be seen, but I did intentionally try to be brash. Told him to mind his own broke business. I sure did. I guess listen, it's tax season, child. He was over there minding everybody else's business, counting the super chats. The nerve, the nerve. Oh my God, child, please, you better play. Listen, try Jesus, don't try me. Mac, you so messy for even bringing that up. Oh God, y'all. So let's get into some of these interviews Shador did. Okay, hold on one second. So Shador, okay, they don't like all that confidence. That's too much. They want to take him down a couple of notches, child. And what I got to say to my nephew, don't you ever change, cause the enemy don't like the way God has blessed you. Because you were raised by a black man, you still got your daddy in your life. See, and it goes back to what the NFL and the mass media. Oh, Sharita, I was on Bucky Live. Well Off Media went live yesterday. We was all over there. So the media does not. They really don't want a positive image of black family, and this is all attack. This whole thing is just an attack on the image of black family and what they want to portray to the world. So no, we are not supposed to, according to them, we are not supposed to have wealth. We are not supposed to have land. We are not supposed to be civil. We are not supposed to be classy. We are not supposed to be poised, articulate, any of that. We are not supposed to have any discipline according to white mainstream media. So they have a problem when we show up and be civil people in a way that they can take a couple of classes from us. So let's get into this.
They are who they are. Who knows what the price of
Hold on.
If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people gotta say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are.
wow. What an excellent answer.
Exactly. Top yo
Deion Sanders' child
nephew.
is.
Like, that's my nephew. His birthday right after mine. I expect nothing less from Shador. Because when it's go time, it's go time. When we on, it's on. When we off, it's off. Listen, when I see Shador and Shiloh, I see me. I don't have a problem with it at all. Because again, what they want him to show up like a dog with his tail between his legs. They want him to show up with his nails painted. Nothing wrong with that. Shout out to the community that paint their nails. I do know that there are some football players that paint their nails, but that's not Shador. That's not Shador. And it ain't gonna be Shiloh. Man, cut it out. Cut it out. Give me a moment. I'm looking for some, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna go over to. So let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all an honest question. What do y'all think about Shedeur's arm? Because first it was his head turned backwards. He's too confident. He's too brash. Now they're talking about his arm is not strong enough. I have not during the football season. I didn't hear nobody say anything about Shedeur's arm. I heard them say he's accurate. I heard them say he's poised. The thing that they were talking about was him holding onto the ball too long and dropping back too much or running out the pocket, which he had to run out the pocket because for 2 years in a row, our O line sucked. And just it is what it is. You can't have one person good on the O line and the rest of them just suck. So he had to run out the pocket. And if you know football, you know if he didn't run out the pocket, he would have been, obliterated or cut in half with some mess like that. So now they're saying his arm is not strong. I gotta laugh to keep from cussing because this is some mess. You say, I think Shedeur is one of those QBs that most QBs want to be exactly. That's already pro. Exactly. He's saying what they want to say, but are scared to. Each generation does something different and does something better than the generation before them. Like as a auntie in real life and a big cousin in real life, I enjoy seeing my little cousins, you know, be cute, be sassy, be classy, and handle their business at their young 20 something age because they hear the stories about their auntie and their big cousin. And I know some of that is them trying to keep it going. Like, my auntie was this, my auntie was that. I'm going to be this. Definitely. Don't be like me, be better than me. So each generation is going to come a step above. They're going to level up from the generation before them. So to your point, Matt, when we are the seasoned people in the room, we enjoy seeing young talent. For the most part, we are supposed to, right? We look forward to seeing the new come through the door because one, we look forward to being a mentor. We look forward to them consulting us with us and asking questions. The problem is college today is not what college used to be for athletes yesterday. A lot of these pro athletes now sitting in the NFL and other areas of sports, they are jealous of these incoming athletes because why? They feel like they didn't struggle like they did. They didn't eat ramen noodles and crackers in the dorm and was broke their entire college career. See, what they don't tell you is there was a class of athletes that didn't live like that prior to NFL, prior to NIL. They went home to their well off houses with their working parents and lived well. They had a tuition, a weekly tuition or a stipend coming in from their parents, while other players from other places went home with the football coach, the Great White Hope, and that was the first time he saw a mansion or went somewhere with marble floors, a house. Okay, today is different. NIL has changed the game, so now they come into the NFL. They not dry, they dripping. Okay, speaking of drip, why they got a problem with Shedeur's jury? When I looked at Jackson Dart, he had on a chain too. The only difference was his diamonds were definitely not dancing like Shedeur's. Go back to the combine and look. You'll see it. He had a chain around his neck too. And at one point it was off as if somebody told him to take it off. Child, they're gonna miss me with all this mess. I can't. I'm not made to tolerate this type of mess at all. Some people do. I'm just not me. Just not me. So let's go over to the Twitter. Hold on. We gotta find. Okay. So did y'all see this mock? It's a couple of mock NFL drafts out there. Which one is it? So let me close that one. Okay. They are trying so hard. I seen somebody put Shedeur at number 29, and I seen somebody put him being drafted at number 21. It did. It did. So on this mock draft right here, when I saw it, I say he better be number one. He better be number one. So this one I got off of the NFL Network's page. It has the mock draft by I guess Charles Davis. He said Shador's number one, Cam Ward number two. Shador number one going to the Titans. Cam Ward going to I can't really see that helmet. Is that Cleveland Browns? And Jackson Dart going to number three going to New York. Um Abdul Carter and Travis at number five, which I know Travis is not going to be number five. I don't know. I don't see Travis being number five. What y'all think about this? Oh my God, my nail broke. So and then I'm not even gonna pull up that other one. They had Shador at number 29 or 21. Like, what is wrong with y'all? I think people do stuff for shock value because they want attention, but it just shows that they are ignorant as hell. This one right here. So they and mind you, let me tell y'all something. And and again, a lot of times this may not even be about the best position. I heard, and I kind of agree with this too. But this is their excuse for also for being acting funny. Some teams are just looking for the best fit, right? And when you hear somebody say, "I'm looking for somebody that's the best fit," or such and such is not going to be a good fit, they are really looking at their emotional intelligence. People really want somebody they can take advantage of and move around like a puppet. Shador is a different type of young man. Y'all can fit the rest in the middle. You know what I'm talking about. So to choose somebody other than Shador, you want somebody that you can mold into your personal free worker. So this ugly dumb person, Lance Zerlin, his name says it all. All right, I'm gonna go to. Let me keep going. Okay.
I'm the favorite son. I think
Nice.
this week I'm the favorite son, but next week, I don't know. So I don't get comfortable in my position right now.
You're Bucky? Bucky?
Maybe it's me right now. It's me right now for sure. But it may be LeJohntay because he had a good 40 time.
Okay.
It may be LeJohntay, so we all his sons at the end of the day. It changes week to week, but I think this week I'm the favorite son. I think this week I'm the favorite son, but next week, I don't know. So I don't get comfortable in my position right now.
You're Bucky? Bucky?
Maybe it's me right now. It's me right now for sure. But it may be LeJohntay because he had a good 40 time.
Okay.
It may be LeJohntay, so we all his sons at the end of the day. It changes week.
Jennifer, you said dropping Shador. Hold on. You said dropping Shador isn't going to hurt his performance or his confidence. They can play if they want to. They will just be fueling his fire. Exactly. He will be successful regardless. of what's said and done. Exactly. Exactly. They just hate the fact that they cannot bulldoze over this family. Y'all don't forget to do the poll at the top. The question in the poll is Shedeur, somebody said yes, is Shedeur going to too confident going into the 2025 NFL draft? So at this point we have 24 votes. Oh, thank you everybody for voting. 88% said no, he's not too confident. And a couple of people said yes, he's too confident. So thank y'all so much for participating in the poll. Thank you so much. Um, I'm trying to get to and see they so deceitful. Look,
Still smiling. There's she.
and shout out to Shador for being a good brother. He didn't work out, but he did support. You know, he supported his wide receivers, Jimmy and LeJounte. He showed up to provide them with the support while they worked out and performed at the combine. So, Shador did his interviews and his measurements and, did his medical stuff. And, he didn't have to do nothing but sit on the sideline, but he was there with his brothers. Okay, here we go. Look at this, y'all. Somebody come look at this.
Deion Sanders FaceTimes. And I say, oh, I'm trying to figure out what Shedeur going to do for the combine. He goes, hold on 1 second. Let me get him. Put Shedeur. I get a message. Coach is going to hit you directly. Okay. I get a FaceTime. It's Deion Sanders. I'm driving in the car with my boys. Deion Sanders FaceTimes. And I say, oh, I'm trying to figure out what Shedeur going to do for the combine. He goes, hold on 1 second. Let me get him. Put Shedeur. I get a message. Coach is going to hit you directly. Okay. I get a FaceTime. It's Deion Sanders. I'm driving in the car with my boys.
What do y'all see here? I see two quarterbacks, both have on chains around their neck, right? The white quarterback has a chain around his neck, a diamond chain around his neck. So does Shador. What's the problem? Why are people making comments about his jewelry or having a problem with the way that he shows up? Okay. Did they talk about Jackson Dart and his chain? Did they make that a problem? Did they make that a conversation piece? Did Jackson Dart go viral for wearing I think it's diamond, but a cluster around his neck?
Deion Sanders FaceTimes. And I say, oh, I'm trying to figure out what Shedeur going to do for the combine. He goes, hold on 1 second. Let me get him. Put Shedeur. I get a message. Coach is going to hit you directly. Okay. I get a FaceTime. It's Deion Sanders. I'm driving in the car with my boys. Deion Sanders FaceTimes. And I say, oh, I'm trying to figure out what Shedeur going to do for the combine. He goes, hold on 1 second. Let me get him. Put Shedeur. I get a message. Coach is going to hit you directly. Okay. I get a FaceTime.
So
It's
yeah.
Deion Sanders. I'm driving in the car with my boys.
And then the other part of this is too, we get to see just how much access that the media has to Coach Prime. They can contact him directly, most of them. But instead of them calling to get details, they'd rather make up their own stories and put out, terrible narratives about Shador, about Coach Prime, about his other children. That's what I also learned from this whole combine experience is how much access the media has. They can come straight to Coach Prime. Shout out to Jimmy for having a good combine tryout. Okay, let's go here.
So I'm able to adjust to any offense and every scheme.
At the podium from Indianapolis right now.
I've been through 6 different OCs, so I'm able to adjust to any offense and every scheme and make it work. We went from Jackson State to Colorado and changed 2 programs back to back. So you don't think I could come to an NFL franchise and change the program again? It's history. We done it again. It's always gonna repeat itself. I'm truly thankful. My dad was able to assemble a staff. He was able to assemble because there's knowledge everywhere. We're able to talk to the running back coach, receiver coaches, defensive coordinators, all these different types of coaches to give you their perspective on what you need to improve on and grow at. So I'm realistic. I know what I need to improve on. I know what I need to grow at. And year by year, cut on the tape, those mistakes cut down yearly. So I'm hyper aware of everything I need to do to be successful. So I'm ready to get to it. If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are.
Okay, Peter, what do you think about first answers we're hearing out of Shedeur at the podium in Indy?
He's got a way about him where it comes off very confident, but it doesn't come across as cocky or arrogant, which is important. I also think being Deion's kid and also having the spotlight on you since you were in middle school and then high school and then choosing Jackson State and then going to Colorado, like, I don't think New York is too big for him. I can't say that for every quarterback. I don't think that the historical woes of Cleveland is going to be too big for him. Like, if this guy comes in, he's already had a spotlight on him. He's already been a superstar, and he's already had all the questions and doubters. So I actually kind of like the way he approaches this. He knows who he is. He's comfortable in his own skin. The football will be a different story, but you better not think you're getting somebody who's scared of the moment with Shedeur Sanders.
Nancy, you were very intensely listening to the way he was talking.
Personally for me, I'm just not a talker, and I'd rather show and prove and do all of those things. And, I'm confident in myself and my abilities to go out there and be a leader that you need me to be for your franchise. But I'm not going to talk about my accolades and all of this stuff. I'm going to let the outside do that for me. And, we talked earlier this week with Will, was when he talked about arrogance.
Will Packer.
But there's a
healthy
term,
arrogance,
healthy arrogance.
essentially.
There's a healthy arrogance that you can go about, and you need that in the NFL. It's a room filled with alphas, and you have to be the alpha.
Yeah.
So, credit to him. It's just not my way that I'll go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a
So I don't understand. Oh, well, who is this Hawaiian Mexican dude? Who is that? Because they asked you about Shedeur. Why are you comparing yourself to Shedeur? If you're already in the NFL, she didn't ask you to compare yourself to Shedeur. And this is what I mean. It's the little things. It's these sideways ass comments and remarks, how they like to get in their little jealousy and envy of they have of this young man. Probably never met Shedeur in his life. Just because that's not how you would do it. There's a term where I come from, what you eat don't make me nothing. It's a few other words in there, but what you eat they ain't got nothing to do with me. That's you. She asks you about Shedeur and you turn it into something about yourself. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's do this again.
The way he was talking.
Personally for me, I'm just not a talker.
Okay, you're not a talker. Shedeur, okay, to say that is you're not a talker, so you're obviously not confident in your ability to articulate what it is you want to get across. But Shedeur is. He's a sociology major, okay? A current college student. He's used to being on television, so he doesn't have a problem articulating or having a conversation with reporters and anyone else. If you're uncomfortable there, if you're insecure in that area, that's your problem. That's a you problem. That's not a Shedeur problem.
I'd rather show and prove and do all of those things. And, I'm confident in myself and my abilities to go out there and be a leader that you need me to be for your franchise. But
Damn, it sounds like he interviewing at the damn draft. See, this is the little type of stuff I'm talking about. It's not about you. Shedeur is being drafted. He's at the combine. Why are you talking about you and your abilities? What you confident in? I don't get it.
I'm not going to talk about my accolades and all of this stuff. I'm going to let.
Why not? It's true because your experience is not Shadeur's experience. There's always somebody in that reporter group that want to throw shade or ask a slick question. So you were not there. So maybe Shedeur had to remind people just who he was and where he come from. Because obviously they seem to talk about his Colorado football and forget he's also played 2 years over there at the HBCU. They literally always overlook Jackson like that was a high school um time for Shedeur. No, he played college football over there
Let the
too.
outside do that for me. And we talked earlier this week with Will, was when he talked about what, arrogance.
Will Packer.
Will Packer. But there's a
Healthy
term,
arrogance,
healthy arrogance.
essentially,
You know,
yeah.
there's a healthy arrogance that you can go about, and you need that in the NFL. It's a room filled with alphas, and you have to be the alpha.
Yeah.
So credit to him. It's just not my way that I'll go about it.
Yeah.
Old boy sitting over there talking crazy and slick shade and Shedeur. I want to know, child, let me hush. I ain't gonna go there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a perfect example of what I was just saying, authenticity, right? That's who you're going to be in front of the media now. That's the way you're going to be in front of the media when you get to our organization. General managers, although it may look cocky and flirting the line with confident and cocky, that's authentic. And they want to know what they're getting in their building. So I'm fine with it. I get it. Just when you start making comments like that, when you get to the NFL, you got to back it up, right? You got to stay true to who you are. You can't switch up if things don't go the way you want. But again, this is a
Okay, so it appears that when you say you gotta back it up. So when people say stuff like that, they're already banking on him failing, as if he's not going to.
young man that's had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He changed the culture down at Colorado, right? And I know he had Travis Hunter and his dad and other people helping out. But at the end of the day, I love the confidence. I think he's going to go out there and prove some people wrong.
We had his dad, Deion Sanders, on GMFB OT from the Super Bowl week. And when I asked him about people's opinions, whether or not he should be involved in his son's meetings with teams, how he very simply said, if your child had to go have surgery, wouldn't you walk into the hospital with them and consult with the doctor? And I said, you know what, Coach, that's a good point. And he kind of stopped me right there. It's a valid explanation, but the fact that it's Deion and it's Shedeur and it's the Sanders family, it also carries a different weight. But that is a very charming smile. That is a very talented young man. And he's putting the words out there. And now Peter and everybody at the table, he's going to have to fulfill that not only this weekend, but at the draft and on to his NFL career.
So yes, Coach Prime had a point. Like, if my child going to surgery, you ain't gonna send your child to the surgery by himself. These people want so bad for Shedeur to be a abandoned black child. Shedeur, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to hold it together, y'all. A few more minutes. Hold on.
Along his college football journey, took off last year, live arm, big time talent. Shedeur Sanders elevated 2 different programs during his college.
Let's talk about the top 3 quarterbacks on your draft board.
Yeah, Cam Ward, number 1 for me. He's had a couple stops along his college football journey, took off last year, live arm, big time talent. Shedeur Sanders elevated 2 different programs during his college journey, Jackson State and Colorado. And then Jackson Dart, someone who some teams have climbing up there into that first-round territory. We're going to see him work out today. Looking forward to that.
You got Jalen Milroe out there. You got Quinn Ewers out there, just to name a couple. And Will Howard, a national champion quarterback from the Ohio State, and one of his wide receivers, highlights the top wide receivers on your draft board as well. Travis Hunter leads this group. Didn't we see him with defensive backs last night?
Yeah, this
Daniel?
is not a rerun. This is a fresh episode today with Travis Hunter atop a position group on the opposite side of the ball, but a really solid receiver group. Tet McMillan reminds me a lot of Drake London with his size. You see Golden, Ibuka, Burden. All 3 of those guys, when it's all said and done, I believe, find their way into the first round. So if you're a fan, today's your day, because either your team has a quarterback and you want some help for him, we got that for you, or you flat out need a quarterback and you can watch these guys spin it.
Yeah, and Golden's Texas teammate Isaiah Bond going out there to try and break the record of Texas's Xavier Worthy set last year in an exhilarating moment. the running backs are first up, and they're pretty darn deep as a pool themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been many years where I've had 5 running backs in my top 50 players, but they're all worthy of it, including Ashton Genty, all the way up there at number 3 on the board.
Centers around the number 1 overall pick, currently held by the Tennessee Titans.
Position of need at number 2.
I think you're looking at all these guys, how the ball comes out of their hand. The nice part is you get to compare apples to apples. Everybody throws one after the other. These receivers run one after the other, so you see how they come off the ball. So it's great to have them all on the field at the same time.
Number 2 overall pick, of course. Well, you met with all these guys as a whole, this quarterback class and the guys you got to meet with. What's your impressions?
Very, very impressive, really. The meetings, just their understanding of the game, their passion for the game. You put on the tape. I think the tape's evident that there's some great players. So it's an exciting time to be down here to get up close and personal and see these guys.
Absolutely. As we wrap, a message for Browns fans watching, they're obviously looking, seeing their head coach camera. What is your message for them as we head towards the 2025 offseason?
Yeah, we're working hard. The good news is that second overall pick, there's going to be a really good football player there. And then throughout this draft. So we're going to add to our football team. Andrew Berry and crew are working very hard. We're going to do the same to make sure that we're adding some quality players to this roster.
All right, Kevin Stefanski, coach of the Browns, thanks for coming down here on the field. We're going to be going right back up to Chris Rose up at the concourse.
Those guys that have transferred a couple times. You talk a lot about loyalty to about. It's going to be interesting to me as we kind of get into this new era, how people view those guys that have transferred a couple times. You talk a lot about loyalty to a program, but then you have guys like the Cam Ward, who obviously isn't throwing, but a lot of people say maybe the number 1 quarterback, go to 3 different places. Now you got to adjust to different systems. You got to learn different systems. You got to lead different groups of guys. And so I'm with you guys. I think there's some definite positives that can come from that. And, guys that say, hey, I want to go try to compete at a higher level. That's never going to be a negative in my mind. So I think you're right. There's going to be an adjustment period of things they're going to have to do differently at the NFL level. Guys that have had gone through that and been successful in it, I think that speaks to who they are. It's going to be interesting to me as we kind of get into this new era.
These guys apart. This is crazy how they picked them apart. It does not make any sense to me. But hold on. Okay, that's Jimmy and Shedeur. These people are so funny. They trying to figure out if Shedeur and Travis still have a close relationship. Yeah, that was very messy. Having those earpieces in their ear. See, she's the reporter, but the producer is the one that produces the segment. So sometimes those producers will be in your ear telling you what to ask. So no, it might not be her, but the segment sometimes can take a turn. And Shador don't want to answer no questions about what he know about Travis that he think they should know. That's a dumb question. But this segment going through these pictures, it shows just how good of a life he had. And unfortunately there are some people that resent and despise the fact that this young man and his siblings have had a behind the scenes and a journey already into the NFL as a child up until now. And that in itself should be a reason to choose him. He's not new to the NFL. He's new to being an employee of the NFL. So, and a lot of them are jealous because they're not Shador, or jealous because their childhood wasn't as like his. But him and Shiloh will tell you their childhood wasn't easy. Although their daddy was Deion Sanders, he took them to the worst part of the city and made them boys play football with them other ones. Child, please. Anywho, y'all, thank y'all for hanging in there, going down the rabbit hole with me. Um, just one moment, and I like what Stephen A had to say, and what Ryan had to say too from the pivot. Like I said, the people showed up. They stood on business about Shador. And this is the time when we should stand on business because they're gonna try everything in the book, to chop him down at the knees, you know, which is crazy. Give me one moment. Don't get heated. Hi, welcome to the channel, Peter D. I'm glad that you made it. Matt, get him comfortable. So, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Hold on one quick. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you made it. How did you find the channel?
He's done nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we
Peter D. Supernatural. Who being? Okay. So y'all know that Steven Sasser Smith, our Stephen A. Smith, he typically is always saying something crazy, not just about Coach Prime and Shedeur, but just people in general. He has a very big opinion of others. And he hasn't always said things that were in favor of Colorado. Oh, thank you. You hold on, I gotta change my earpiece. One thing about Stephen A, he will speak his mind and he be out of pocket sometimes, but he will stand on business about the. Oh yeah, and congratulations to him on his new contract. He got $100 million contract for the next 5 years with ESPN. So shout out to Stephen A. Smith for that. I ain't never mad at a black man getting his bag.
every day? Right here with me, with him, and with any of us on any damn network who covers the NFL. We know who the hell Prime Time is. The brother so Prime Time is sacrilegious. He's done nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we having this conversation about his character? I'm going to tell you why. Because you got people hating on his daddy.
Yeah, that's what I was.
And they want any excuse that they can come up with. And let me remind America why Deion Sanders. We gonna say this. This is why Deion Sanders is hated by some people, because he was the greatest. And he told you so. And then went out there and showed you show. And you were helpless to do anything about it. And then when he talked about it, not only could you not play better than him, you couldn't talk better than him, you couldn't articulate your thoughts better than him, you didn't have that swag, that flavor about you, that vibe about you, you couldn't resonate with an audience and gravitate them towards you the way that he could. And Deion knew it. And you hated him for it. And so since you couldn't touch him, now you're trying to touch his son. This is low. The fact that this is a story, the fact that people are putting this stuff out there, I'm not blaming Josina Anderson, you or anybody else. I'm saying the fact that somebody would say this stuff is low. It's low. But that's all right, because this is 2025 and Deion Sanders got cover all
That's
day,
right.
every day. Right here with me, with him, and with any of us on any damn network who covers the NFL. We know who the hell Prime Time is. The brother so Prime Time is sacrilegious. He's done nothing wrong. So why are we having this conversation about his character? I'm going to tell you why. Because you got people hating on his daddy.
Yeah, that's what I was.
And they want any excuse that they can come up with. And let me remind America why Deion Sanders. We going to say this. This is why Deion Sanders
Talk
is
y'all
hated
talk, Stephen
by
A.
some people, because he was the greatest. And he told you so. And then
You
went
better
out there
say
and
it.
showed you show. And you were helpless to do anything about it. And then when he talked about it, not only could you not play better than him, you couldn't talk better than him, you couldn't articulate your thoughts better than him, you didn't have that swag, that flavor about you, that vibe about you, you couldn't resonate with an audience and gravitate them towards you the way that he could. And Deion knew it. And you hated him for it. And so since you couldn't touch him, now you're trying to touch his son. This is low. The fact that this is a story, The
That's
fact
what
that
they
people are putting
do.
this stuff out there, I'm not blaming Josina Anderson, you or anybody else. I'm saying the fact that somebody would say this stuff is low. It's low. But that's all right, because this is 2025, and Deion Sanders got cover all day, every day. Right here with me, with him, and with any of us on any damn network who covers the NFL. We know who the hell Prime Time is. The brother's so Prime Time, it's sacrilegious. He's done nothing wrong.
Y'all, every time I see Stephen A say he's done nothing wrong, he is losing his mind. That's literally us right now because we can't believe. Check your mailbox, your email, Mac. We can't believe these people doing this right now. But we knew, and I said a few months ago, every time NFL draft time comes, they pick one or maybe two black athletes to attack and tear down in the media in an effort to lower their draft stock. We knew it was coming. We just didn't know what would be said and how intense it would be. But I have never. This is my first time seeing Stephen A. stand on business. But one thing I will say, when he said, we know why he doing this because his dad is Deion Sanders. No, he got a black daddy. And you can't he didn't want to say that, so he had to be as politically correct as possible. But I accept this from you, Stephen A. Sanders. You say Stephen A. Smith, you did good. You did good on this one. Hold on.
If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And
Yep.
I've done it.
Y'all heard what my nephew said. If you're not trying to and see when he said that, when he said Mac, whatever, when he said that, he basically put the GMs on notice. He basically put the head coaches on notice and said, look, I am who I am. I'm not looking for y'all to change my personality. I am coming to play football. So don't think that this is going to be some finishing school where you get to turn me into you. Okay? So he basically filtered out the room when he told them, if you're not trying to change the culture, don't get me. So there's a couple of them should have been like, okay, scratch his name right on off the list because they know what they want their program or their organization to look like, starting with the quarterback. So I ain't mad. I ain't even mad at Shedeur for that. Say what's up. Say it how you really feel, nephew. So speaking of diamonds dancing, this is what they were looking at.
Look at his chain.
Yeah, just a little look. It made it cross. And see, this is one of those accounts that don't really do football or sports. So I was shocked to see them post Shador. Okay, we'll do this.
I can hold that stuff for you.
All right, you sit down.
I wasn't gonna leave it back.
Yeah, I have a
I got you. I can hold that stuff for you.
All right, you sit down.
I wasn't gonna leave it back.
Yeah,
I got you.
See, any little thing like Shador can sneeze and it'll be a headline. Shador can change his shoes from black and white diamond turfs to white on black diamond turfs and it'll be a headline. I don't care what Shador does, they're gonna make it into content and turn it into a headline. Which is why I said when I first opened up, I was like, content is king, right? So right now, Shador is king. Shador owns the internet. He is the reason why so many people's platform is taking off because they can't keep his name out their titles. Shout out to Shador, baby. You him. You the motion. Okay, come on, Keyshawn. Come on, Uncle Keyshawn. And the next three, all the uncles is standing on business about their nephews. So get ready for it. Get ready for it. Come on now. Here we go.
Coach is a coward.
Ooh,
He's a
okay.
coward. He's a coward. Like, put your name on it.
Nope.
Don't be a turtle and come out and say something, and then we're gonna hide up under the shell now. Put your name on it. Don't be a coward. Like, being a professional athlete is so much about self-belief, self-confidence. And if my confidence offends you and it comes off as cocky, that's a problem with you.
With who?
With the coach.
I thought you meant me.
No, with the coach. Like, and better yet,
What's wrong with you?
do you know who Shedeur's father is?
Yeah.
You don't think he was bred from day one
Come on.
to believe in yourself, to always have confidence in yourself? He was bred that way. And so I'm tired of coaches every year at the combine kicking dirt on these kids. I was just at the combine, and they ain't gonna talk about how Shedeur was trying to comfort Will Howard. It's okay, like, leave Will Howard. They ain't gonna talk about that. They always want to kick dirt on the kid. Either put your name on it
Or shut up.
or shut up. Like, don't be that turtle. Oh, I'm gonna say this to so and so, then I'm gonna go hide under this shell. Like, he a coward.
You know what I think about too?
Coach is a coward.
Ooh.
He's a coward.
Didn't I say that? That is so cowardly. Let's see what Keyshawn got to say.
You get these coaches that are not accustomed to dealing with or having conversations with individuals at this position that have a certain snack, crackle, pop to them.
Right, I feel you.
They're not.
Yeah.
They don't walk and talk like the quarterback position. That's the only thing they've ever coached. They've only coached this type of quarterback. So they're not used to a dude rolling in there, probably got the big old chain on, and he got the swag with
He
his
ain't
hat
even
and his
had that
glasses.
on like that.
No, but I'm saying, in their mind, they see that. And he's smiling and being himself. They're not used to that. They want him to be something different that he's not. And we see this all the time with players at the combine, like you said, every single year. There's some little crackerjack box dude that's in the back somewhere talking about, well, I don't really like the way he walks. I mean, I
don't like the way he dressed.
Yeah, I don't like the way, I don't know for sure what type of player we really getting here. Does he like football? You get that. And ain't none of them ever stepped on the gridiron to even understand it.
Right.
You know, and so it's weird, but it happens every single year. They try to push you down.
No, it's not weird, Keyshawn. It's racist.
For whatever reasons. And I think Shedeur will be fine regardless because, like you said, TJ, all he is a carbon copy of his dad. How did that work out? You get these coaches that...
Yes. I love that the uncles is coming up. Step up. I should not be the only one on the internet losing my mind about this mess. I'm just playing. Mac, you sloppy man. I be over here in character. No, I'm so glad y'all speaking up. Now this brother finna go off. So trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning.
Here we go with the bullshit. Already knew that it was going to be reports eventually that an NFL team did not like how confident that Shedeur Sanders is, and they were going to mix it up with being arrogant. We got Josina Anderson, who was a reporter in the NFL. She came out and said that a team in the NFL draft picking within the top 7 did not like how arrogant that Shedeur Sanders came off. I loved what he said at the combine when he said about how he's done it at every level. He's done it at Jackson State when people didn't think he could do it, and then he went to Colorado and uplifted that program. And like I always say, on the football field, not in real life, because we know that Shedeur Sanders grew up with money, but on the football field, he has always been considered an underdog, and that's what made him have the confidence that he has today. So it doesn't surprise me that people who already do not like Deion Sanders don't like the way that Shedeur Sanders is carrying himself, because some people's worst fear is a young black confident man, specifically when he come in there with a chain that probably costs more than their salary. That's probably what they really don't like. They need him to be in the NFL, but Shedeur Sanders doesn't need to be in the NFL. He wants to be in the NFL. He wants to play football. He wants to make his own money. But they want him to come in there and kiss the boots of the GM and the head coach and say, I'm very thankful to be here. I appreciate the opportunity. I've been dreaming about this since I was a kid, and I just thank you guys for letting me in here. No, Shedeur Sanders has built the confidence growing up because he's always been the underdog, and he's the son of the king of confidence, Deion Sanders. But we already know it's people out there who already do not like Deion Sanders, and they hate that his son is so confident. But me, if I'm a GM, I would want a player like that to come in and have the opportunity to change my franchise. I don't want my quarterback to be all humble and quiet. I want my quarterback to carry himself the way that Shedeur Sanders carries himself. As long as he stays out of trouble, why does it matter? Okay? He's a kid who's never been in trouble, always carried himself like a pro. And like he said, he's done it at every level. But we already know it's some haters out there. I love the confidence that Shedeur Sanders has. Here we go with the bullshit. Already knew that it was going to be reports eventually that an NFL team did not like how confident that Shedeur Sanders is, and they were going to mix it up with being arrogant. We got Josina Anderson, who was a reporter in the NFL. She came out and said that a team in the NFL draft picking within the top 7 did not like how arrogant that Shedeur Sanders came off. I loved what he said at the combine when he said about how he's done it at every level. He's done it at Jackson State when people didn't think he could do it, and then he went to Colorado and uplifted that program. And like I always say, on the football field, not in real life, because we know that Shedeur Sanders grew up with money, but on the football field, he has always been considered an underdog, and that's what made him have the confidence that he has today. So it doesn't surprise me that people who already do not like Deion Sanders don't like the way that Shedeur Sanders is carrying himself, because some people's worst fear is a young black confident man, specifically.
So I was trying to find the one with Sap. I can't find it. If you can find it, tag me in it on X. He said Shador has the strength of his siblings without the weakness. He is a day walker. And I'm gonna come out of IG real quick, and I'm gonna end it on this one. And this is in circle 2015. Our
I
nephew was
miss you, man.
struggling.
Look at me. You know I love you, right? You love your dad? Yes. You love your mom? Yes. It's okay to love both of us. You hear me? You don't have to love me and hate her. To love her and hate me, you don't have to. It's okay. I love all my kids. The love I have for you is special, babe. Why? Nobody could take it. Because God created you separate. You your own entity, baby. You are Shedeur Sanders. Don't you like everybody the same? I don't like everybody the same. So you like Shao less than you like me? I love all y'all different. I love different attributes that you have. You're my son, dude. You got a wonderful, giving, loving, caring heart. That's who you are. I miss you, boy. Come here. You're a good kid. You got a great heart. Don't you? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what it is.
And this is the image that they despise. They know that from the womb to the tomb, this young man has been loved, he has been cultivated, he has been educated, he has been poured into, value has been around him every all of his life, and they cannot break him because he's not coming to the NFL with his hand out looking for someone else to be to him what his father has always been to him. And it's interesting that this is a clip during the divorce where Dion and Pilar went through a divorce, and the children had the hardest time dealing with that. And at the time during this era right here, y'all, either we said 2015. So I was in the midst of my own divorce, and it was terrible. And you don't know what divorce does to a child unless you get to see them. Okay, thank you. And for me, it wasn't the fact that I had a failed marriage. It was the fact watching my children be in so much pain and not being able to articulate themselves about the changes in our family. Just seeing them experience the pain of their parents not being together. And for being a football mom, now I had to figure it all out, had to co-parent. Sometimes we were not on the same page. And knowing that one of my sons, all his life, he wanted to get to high school and play ball and share that moment with his father. And his dream was crushed because his dad wasn't able to make all of his games. So when I was tuned into this episode, I understood where Shedeur was because I too was dealing with it in my own life and having and for mainstream media, they already portray black families as broken, belligerent, and they expect us not to have access to resources like counseling and therapy. And they think that every black family is so dysfunctional that we don't know how to comfort our children, or we are unwilling to comfort our children and help them work through their pain and all of this what they're going on. So right here, this image of Coach Prime pouring into his son. Not to say that Pilar didn't do the same, because I'm sure she did hug, kiss her babies, and try to get them through the hump of not having their parents in the same house. But they hate this. They hate this. They don't like seeing this right here. This is what keeps a person whole. Yes, trauma changes you, but how you are loved through the process, it builds you. So divorce could have broken their family in ways unimaginable. But because Coach Prime was dead on and being a active and present father, he didn't disappear from his children like a lot of men do. You get divorced, oh, you mama's baby now, you my baby. So some men they go and start a whole new life, a whole new family, and when they divorce a woman, that's yeah, going over there with your mom. But he didn't do that. So with that said, I'm gonna check my email real quick. If y'all not gonna come up here, tell me now. Hold on. Okay. Now this was a good conversation too. One more, and we're gonna find out what Warren Sapp has to say.
He is looking right now to be a late first round pick. You ain't gonna be putting your watch in nobody's face as a late first round pick.
Calling Shedeur Sanders brash, that don't feel like a mischaracterization of the player that you might receive. There are plenty of quarterbacks in the league that are having success that are brash in a way that I think is probably off-putting. We just dig so deep into the stuff that doesn't matter. Can you ball? Your brash becomes marketable if you can ball. Your brash
Yes.
is annoying if you can't. The fact that you are in the Star Trek becomes interesting if you can ball. If you can't, you got too many outside interests. Like, we are looking for to talk about these players when none of that matters.
The NFL people seem to only have one thing in common. They all seem to find Shedeur Sanders to be a bit off-putting. People are talking about him being brash and being a bit arrogant. It was such a broadly applied opinion of him that he's not good enough to be that. Like, he is looking right now to be a late first round pick. You ain't gonna be putting your watch in nobody's face as a late first round pick.
Calling Shedeur Sanders brash, that don't feel like a mischaracterization of the player that you might receive. There are plenty of quarterbacks in the league that are having success that are brash in a way that I think is probably off-putting. We just dig so deep into the stuff that doesn't matter. Can you ball? Your brash becomes marketable if you can ball. Your brash
Yes.
is annoying if you can't. The fact that you are in the Star Trek becomes interesting if you can ball. If you can't, you got too many outside interests. Like, we are looking for to talk about these players when none of that matters.
Exactly. That's my point. They worried about the wrong thing. They worried about the wrong thing. Okay, let's get into this video. I got it, man. Thank you. Let's get into this last video, and we gonna y'all can start coming up here on the panel. Y'all can start coming. Click the link if y'all want to come up. Y'all know I never stay this long. I've been on now for 2 hours and 37 minutes. I don't think I ever been here that long, y'all. I just had time today. That's all. I had time today. Okay, so let's get into this because they never seen him fold under pressure, exactly, physically or mentally. They were trying to take away. Listen, child, let's get into this.
Our board spoke about the anonymous NFL coach talking about Shedeur. Let's take a listen to what Sap had to say.
And then we talk about a quarterback coach who's not a decision maker, wants to make that call about our quarterback.
Yeah.
Dog, I've been working for the last 48 hours to get his name. If I get his name, oh, buddy, we're going to do a deep dive into his life. He going to wish he ain't never did. If you're not a decision maker, shut up. And if he doesn't understand what it is to be the baby of a family like that, he has all Bucky and Shiloh's strengths and his sister and none of their
Exactly.
weaknesses. He's the day walker.
Exactly.
Tell GZ you cut it for you. Okay?
And
Hey, you
see,
ain't gonna
y'all
find a more loyal guy
understand.
than Sap.
Thank you, baby.
I've been knowing Sap for a minute. And anytime he call, I answer the same. I answer.
Hold on. Let's do that again. We got to hear Warren Sapp say that again. Say it one more time, Sapp, for the people in the
That
back.
coach who's not a decision maker wants to make that call about our quarterback.
Yeah.
Dog, I've been working for the last 48 hours to get his name. If I get his name, oh, buddy, we're going to do a deep dive into his life. He going to wish he ain't never did. If you're not a decision maker, shut up. And if he doesn't understand what it is to be the baby of a family like that, he has all Bucky and Shiloh's strengths and his sister and none of their weaknesses. He's the day walker.
And that is so key. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. Um, he said Shedeur is the baby. He has all of Bucky, Shiloh, and DeAndrea's strengths and not their weaknesses. Man, that is true. And I'm only speaking from experience. Listen, everybody at this point, I think this is the most engaging the fan base, the content creators have been when it comes to CU football since Coach Prime has got there. I have never seen us go in like we have been showing up for Shedeur in these last couple of days. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. What do y'all think? Do the fan base has been standing on business about Shedeur? I think so. Hi, you all. Welcome to my channel. If you're just getting here, I hope that you subscribe. I would appreciate it if you do. Like the video, share the video, y'all. It's almost over, but I really appreciate y'all for hanging in there with me. I'm just a lady over here, a little old lady living in the house who just love to share my opinion about young people. I love to support them. I love to add value and pour into them. And I want to, more than anything, see them be great, be their best selves. And a lot of times you have people that will attack our young people thinking that they cannot defend themselves. It's not that they can't defend themselves. They're in a position where they are trying to get to the next level. So I have taken it upon myself to advocate for those who maybe cannot or not in the position to advocate for themselves. So I am an internet auntie and I don't mind standing on business for those who got to get to work. I want them to focus on the work and let me run my mouth. Okay, let me put me out there. I'll run my mouth. So thank you so much for being here. So I don't think the fan base has stood on business this hard in a long time, y'all. We showed up and showed out for Shedeur, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud. What y'all think? Because it's always something. Let me go back up here. So welcome to the family, Peter. Um, Supernatural Hoovian. I hope I said that correctly. The uncles remember how they were treated, and they ain't gonna let them folks get away with it. I know that's right. He said, "Sure." I heard that too, Matt. Keyshawn gonna say something. Of course, I love it. I love it. I love that they are not being scared to death. You know, scared to death people over there at the sports networks, and I'm glad that they are able to speak up when they should be, you know, speaking up, especially when things are wrong. Like I told y'all, I can't stand no liars, and I don't like cowards. And a lot of times in real life, I know I talk a lot over here on this YouTube app, but in real life, I don't talk a lot. This is the most I ever talk. So, but I always move in the manner in which I use wisdom over emotion. So I see things every day, but I don't act upon it. I just know that when the time comes, I have to, you know, utilize my resources or my power and authority to take care of business. But the person that you hear right now is not the person that they ever in a million years think that is the person that they stand next to at work. But just know that I'm happy to have a seat at the table and to get things done. So I appreciate those who use their voice to um, seek justice and stand up for those who maybe can't, speak up for themselves. Yeah, Shiloh definitely gets it the worst. That's why I want to see him win so bad. I really want him to have an opportunity to if he don't get drafted, I want him to get an opportunity to try out for somebody's team, and I pray that he gets it. I pray that he gets it. But you all have done well. Y'all have showed up today, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If y'all not gonna click the link, I'm gonna let y'all go. I won't hold y'all. I'll let y'all out of class just a little bit early. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Definitely share my channel. And I gotta go over to my other channel for a few minutes to take care of some women's business. So thank you to everybody that showed up today. I appreciate you and God bless you.